Hello everybody, Huckrex here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 409. And today we're going to be talking about the clan Urbanmech IIC. 30-ton little mech that says it can. I think I can. Yeah, it's a little bit, basically a defensive mech, security mech, used around bases, anti-population control type thing. You know, it's like very useful for that role. You're definitely not going to be seeing it running around on the battlefield in open plains doing its job. It's more suited for closed environments, that kind of thing. So, what is the Urbanmech? Well, Clan basically took the old venerable Urbanmech design and just basically slapped on some good old-fashioned clan tech and went with it. So you have a 353 mech that has 5 tons of basic slab armor for 96 points, which allows it to be, it's about a half-ton short. They don't even have ferrofibers on this thing. If they did, they could have maxed out the armor that way. Then it has a couple weapon systems. We have an Ultra 10 autocannon in the right arm, and we have 2 tons of ammunition in the right torso to feed that machine's weapon system. And then we have an ER small laser in the left arm. Basically, it's the standard urban mech, but instead of having just an AC-10, it's got an ultra cannon, and you got an ER small instead of a small laser. So not much has changed. Then we have jump jets in the left, right, and center torso for 3. Yeah, it's one of those mechs that has been used many times in a lot of campaign games, especially our latest one. We were running around with these things as Urbanmechs. Now, there was a slight change to them, how we used them. We changed the weapon systems out a little bit. But, it's basically the same mech, per se. And the type of environment, like I said previously, is that it's not a mech that you want to take out onto an open battlefield, because if you're facing off against heavier, medium, heavy, and assault clan mechs, this thing will disappear in a blink of an eye, literally blink of an eye, and be an incandescent warrior inside as it gets vaporized. So you basically need to use this thing as cover and concealment, hiding, ambushing, that type of activity for it, because otherwise it will be scraped off. Because heck, we had I think it was a medium mech take out an urban mech with just one turn with it had basically it was our version of a Clint 2C that had 5 medium pulse lasers. It just ripped right into it and tore it to pieces and took it out of the game just like that. So it's not something that you want to bank on being around for a long period of time. It's fairly cheap. It's what, 790, I think it is, the battle value. Let me double check here. 798. There you go. It was 8 and the 0 were kind of blending together. So the capability is it's considered almost a 1 or 2 shot weapon system. It might get 2 shots off before it gets vaporized. Heck, like I said, a medium mech can take one of these things out pretty quickly, even though it has 8 points of armor in its torsos. It has 10 in the arms, obviously, and then you got 12 in the legs. So it's able to handle a large laser in the arms and legs and center torso, but the right and left torso are only banking on 8. So most of the kills we ever had were just hitting it, and then all that damage just funnels right into the center torso, and it goes klunk, and it's dead. So you got to really watch these things, how often you want to bring it out so that someone can shoot at it. You got to use cover concealment all the time. It's not something you just forget about, and hey, I'm going to take a couple turns of fire and I'll be good. No, it doesn't. It's gone and nothing flat. Like I said, it can be an incandescent warrior inside, which means that he was really brilliant for a quick flash, and then he was gone. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, now when you got an AC-10 Ultra UORF and you got 10 standard heat sinks, you're going to be firing, you're going to be double pumping, because like I said, the life expectancy of this thing is pretty short. Just throw out the ammo out there, because you got 10 turns worth, rock and rolling out to 18. As soon as you can able to fire this thing, you just unleash on it, and you just spin up the heavy cannon as it's spinning, and wah, 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 type of thing, and hope something sticks to the wall, because they're going to probably stick back at you pretty quickly, because the best mod you're ever going to get with this thing is maybe 3. Because if you jump 3, you get a 1 mod, that's a 2. And if you park yourself into some lighter heavy woods, you might get an average of 2 with that. So on the turn, maybe you jump into it, you could possibly get a 4 mod in a heavy woods, but don't count on it. So it's like, I tell you, if you see something like this that has a low mod on it for being hit, yeah, it's like, hey, I'm gonna throw all my heavy weapons and stuff that can hit at this thing, and it's a 2 mod on it. I'm going to throw as much at as I can and just eliminate it from the battlefield. That's pretty much how you're going to look at this thing. So don't expect it to be around very long. Now, with your 10 heat sinks, the most heat this thing can create is 11. So yeah, just like you can go 4 turns jumping and firing everything, possibly. But typically, if you jump 3, add in the autocannon, that's 9 heat, so you're running cool. It's not until you throw in that ER small laser into the mix, which is the +2, that you're really even thinking about a heat problem with this this mech. So there you go. Now, there's a few other versions of this mech. You got the Urbanmech IIC. Now, this was a better version. I like this one a lot better. This one comes in at 855 battle value. Now, what they did was they got rid of the AC-10 Ultra Cannon and replaced it with a Hyper Assault Gauss Rifle, HAG-20, with 2 tons of ammunition, which is 12 shots. Basically, it turns it into a equivalent of an LRM-20 that shoots out to 24. Which is nice. And you got a flamer for anti-infantry type of work. So I'm thinking of this thing as like, hey, we got some population control with, maybe they have some light vehicles or something of that nature backing up their insurrection. And then you just go in and start blasting the vehicles as much as possible. And then when the infantry get close, you just like, hey, you get a little bit of fire. Hey, you get a little bit of fire. Let's burn you out of this building or burn you out of that building type of thing. So that's pretty much, how I envision the the number 2 version, Urbanmech IIC. Now, with a range of 24, if you're facing off against inner sphere kind of mechs, maybe the inner sphere is doing a raid on a clan facility, and like belongs to the clan Coyote. They probably will outrange most of the enemy mechs if they're inner sphere, with something that shoots out to 24. So yeah, you have to worry about ERPPCs and LRMs almost equal range to you. probably in the same range band, but you could sit out at long range and just rain in some fire, direct fire onto them. So it is possible to survive a little bit longer with that HAG 20 system that shoots out to 24, which is nice. I like this version. And the battle value isn't that bad. So there's that. Now, we had, there's a couple Mech Warrior Online versions. If you want to look at those, basically it has the AC-20 and one of them with 3 tons of ammunition, some three micro lasers. There's no write-up on these. These are just Mech Warrior Online versions. And then we have one that carries 4 ER small lasers, and then it has a HAG 30 on board, and it has 10 double heat sinks. So that's kind of an interesting build too. So a HAG 30 can do some really good work. Let me tell you, if you've never seen a HAG 30 or 40 in action, ooh, yeah, I'm not going to like those. Now, we did have some versions where what we did was got rid of the AC-10 Ultra and replaced it with a heavy large laser in a targeting computer to offset that heavy penalty that comes with having heavy weapons like that. And so now you got something that can punch in its 16 points of damage, doing pretty good. It's acting almost like a hunchback. So you got something that hits hard out to 15. So that's kind of a nice little system. And then we had another one one time that replaced it with an ER-PPC, double heat sinks, and also both of those versions were running ferrofibrous armor to get a little bit extra, and they were carrying like an extra flamer on board. So that way they are able to handle, was it one, maybe the heavy large laser, I think had maybe an ER medium laser also in addition to that. So it was kind of nice little addition to the firepower, even though that heat output of that heavy large laser was soaking up most of the heat sinks, double heat sinks that they had on board. So, but overall, it wasn't a bad mech. They, like, once again, those mechs even, they jump in, do a little bit, do some damage. If they hit with that heavy large laser, it was like, hey, you're a light mech. Seen a Mercury get cored out with one of those things before. Took out another with a HAG 20 version. Took out a another Urbanmech, except that one hit him in the back. So it was like across the board, hit him in the back shot, and that one just punched right on through center torso and right out the front type of deal. So yeah, it was kind of anomaly per se, but yeah, did a good job. It was a fun game. But overall, it's a security type mech. There's other mechs you're probably better off taking into the game, unless you're playing a scenario where you're doing a raid on a clan facility and you're going to be might see some of these parked around the perimeter just doing security work, that type of thing. So it's useful. They're cheap, low battle value for clan stuff, but they're like an incandescent warrior when it comes to the battlefield. So that's it. That's the Urbanmech IIC. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Elcrex out.